It was June the 4th, 1940. Winston Churchill was addressing the Commons. It was just after the British Army had been evacuated and rescued from Dunkirk. He gave a moving speech, telling the House how bad things were, how bad the defeat was, and praising those who had rescued the soldiers. But he let everyone know the task that lay ahead. Part of his speech is a bit that we remember. He said this: "We will fight them on the beaches and the landing planes. We will fight them in the fields and the streets. We will fight them on the hills. We will never surrender." Today's message is all about never giving up. Where we are in the UK right now, it's still a tough place to be. So many people dying every day. We're still struggling with lockdown. And as it goes on, it'd be so easy to give up. But it's important today that we don't give up, that we keep going. And I hope to give you a little bit of encouragement today in that. But first of all, I want to show you my scarf. Look at this. Liverpool football scarf. Now, why am I showing you that? Well, the reason I'm showing you that today is this. Last year, Liverpool were in the semi-final of the Champions League. The Champions League semi-finals are played over two legs. The first leg they played in the Nou Camp Stadium in Barcelona, and Barcelona beat them 3-0. And you would think there's no coming back from that, particularly with people like Messi on the side. Well, the day came a fortnight later where they played the match at Anfield, and on top of having this mountain to climb, two of their top players, Mo Salah and Roberto Firmino, two forwards, were unable to play. The match started. At 6 minutes, Origi, one of the substitute centre forwards, scored. Hope. And then the match went on and on. It got to half time. No further goals. And then came the 53rd minute, when another goal was scored. Liverpool had two. The 55th minute, they had another. Now it was 3-3. Maybe they were inspired by Mo Salah, who, as I said, was injured and unable to play, but yet he had a t-shirt on which said, "Never give up." In the 78th minute, Origi scored again. Liverpool won the match 4-3 because they never gave up. You know, I think that inspired another team for the next night. Tottenham Hotspur were playing Ajax. They'd already lost at home 1-0, and they'd gone to Amsterdam to play them. And in the first half, Ajax scored 2 more goals. And so at half-time, Spurs needed 3 goals to go through. And on top of that, Harry Kane wasn't playing. He was injured. Their substitute striker, Lucas Moura, was playing. He, by the way, is a committed Christian. Then all of a sudden, in the 54th minute, Lucas scored. And in the 58th minute. But it got to the 90th minute and no more goals, and they needed 1 more to go through. 5 minutes of added on time. In the 5th minute, Lucas scored his hat-trick, almost with the last kick of the game, and Spurs went through to the final. Never give up. You know, our faith is all about never giving up. One of the greatest missionaries that have ever lived is St. Paul. And right throughout his life, when he became a Christian, he spent his life going throughout Asia and Europe, telling people the good news of Jesus Christ. And he saw many people come to Christ. Many churches were started, and it really transformed the area. But it was at great cost. He was shipwrecked 3 times. He was beaten with rods. He was lashed with whips. He was stoned. He was left for dead. He was put in prison many times, but he never gave up. In fact, towards the end of his life, when writing to a young minister by the name of Timothy, he said this: "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." But even he was getting a bit discouraged. He was in prison in Rome. There was no one with him. He was lonely. And he said to Timothy, "I want you to do 3 things for me. I want you to come and see me. I want you to bring my cloak. I want you to get John Mark and bring him. And I want you to bring some scrolls." And these 3 things would help him in his time of struggle. And maybe these 3 things can help us today. See, the cloak reminds us of physical things. Paul was cold. He needed something to keep him warm. And here we are in lockdown. You know, it's important we do our exercise. We need that exercise. It's important we eat healthily and eat well, that we do everything we can to keep healthy. Second thing, Paul needed a friend. And John Mark was the guy who actually wrote Mark's Gospel. And earlier on, when Paul was on a missionary journey, John Mark let him down. He was a complete failure. But now, Paul realized this guy could help him, could encourage him, could make a difference. Maybe you can phone someone or FaceTime someone or just text someone and just encourage them. You know, because we need one another in these days. Paul needed a friend. There are many people that need a friend today. Encourage them. And last of all, he asked for some scrolls. That would have been the scriptures, part of the Bible. I want to tell you today that reading the Bible can make a significant difference to how you feel and how you live your life. You see, so often we hang on every word of the politicians, of Boris Johnson or Matt Hancock, and we can go up and down with what they say, with how things go in the daily briefing. And I remember, you know, when my daughter was in hospital, sometimes we would hang on every word of what the doctor said or the nurses said. And sometimes you'll be very up and sometimes you'll be very down. I want you to know that the Bible is an endless source of help. I'm going to read you one verse that Paul wrote when he wrote the letter to Timothy. And this is what he said: "The Lord will rescue you from every evil attack. He will bring you safely to his heavenly kingdom." The Lord will rescue you. The Lord will help you. In these days of uncertainty, reach out to a God who knows the outcome, a God who wants to comfort and to help us, a God who showed his love to us through his Son, Jesus Christ. On my scarf it says, "You'll never walk alone." As we talk to Jesus, as we ask for his help, know this: you will never walk alone. God bless you. Keep safe. Keep loving. Keep praying.